This week's In the Shop with Scott. It was a busy week, got a lot going on multiple projects, so I hope you enjoy the video. I started the week off running the Monster chopping board through the drum sander to make sure it was nice, flat, and smooth. Then removed any marks with the orbital sander. Next, I squared up the edges on the table saw. I set up the router table with a roundover bit. This would probably have been a better idea to use the handheld router. You live and learn, I guess. This also turned out to be an issue since I decided to radius the corners after this was already done. Anxious to keep the fishnet project moving, I pulled it out of the clamping jig. The colored strips were much longer than I needed, so I trimmed them back to where they had been glued down. To level out all the strips, I passed the net through Ned Sanders with 120 grit paper. This slowly revealed the true color pattern underneath and will look pretty cool. Over on the belt sander, which needs a name, let me know if you have anything good, I worked away the extra material to get a smooth transition from the hoop to the handle. What is neat here is the dust changing color with each layer I sand through. On the inside of the hoop, I needed to remove the extra handle material as well. I think this came out with a pretty cool shape. Not sure if the odd shape will actually help you land the fish any better though. I was waiting for the net to arrive to be able to mark the holes for the stringing, so I set this project aside and went back to the picture frame. I marked where the tails would overlap the top and bottom rails with a marking knife. With the dado stack and miter gauge set, I cut the matching half lap joints. I stayed just shy of my mark and will clean up the rest with a chisel and sandpaper. A shout out to my Canadian friend Grant Alexander. Thanks for commenting on last week's video. Check out the link above to his channel and creative projects. I worked on each joint until I got a good fit. My radius guide and 2-inch trim bit was delivered, so I got that set up. I jumped back over the chopping board and put a nice curve on each edge. There's a link in the description to these if you're interested. As I mentioned earlier, it would have been easier to use the handheld router for the roundover. Here I am doing this step again now that the radius was done. It's been a while since I put a juice groove on a board, and I had to make some larger guides for this monster. I made multiple passes, taking just a little bit at a time to try and prevent any burn marks. While the board was drying from the water pop, I used the drill press to add a hole on the net handle. I figured this would be useful for looping through a lanyard, also different from any of my previous nets. The colorful shavings were cool to see. Check out the link above if you are interested in my review of this drill press. There's also a link in the description. As you can see here, one of the boards developed a bow after I ripped it on the table saw. I didn't notice this before doing the joinery, and with no extra material on hand, I decided to try steaming it and clamping to see if I could get it straight. I actually overcorrected and had to bring it back, but now it's flat. And make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. Use the orbital sander to smooth out any marks left by the belt sander. The router was set back up with the roundover bit. Definitely don't want to try to do this with a handheld router. And I hit all the edges inside and out. From this angle it looks like a boring old Assinet. The next step was to add the groove or channel for the string to sit in so it doesn't get messed up. If you want more info on the entire net building process, check out the link above to my full build video. Thanks for watching.